My name is Walt Bishke, and I am the Associate Director of Graduate Admissions at Vanderbilt University. And this is a graduate student panel discussion about the student experience at Vanderbilt, especially for first-year students. And the reason that we like to do these information sessions is because we want to give you as much information and insight as possible about the Vanderbilt student experience and academic life at Vanderbilt while you are considering all of the offers that you are receiving from other schools. You want to see if the offer from Vanderbilt is the right fit. If your specific skill sets and personalities and backgrounds would find the best opportunity to thrive at Vanderbilt or at one of the other schools that you're considering. So thank you for joining us tonight. Since we have an intimate room here, there's only a few people. I want to just start by with some introductions. And so when I call your name, if you would, please say your name, make sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly, and what department you've been admitted to, and answer the question, what is your favorite drink? So I will start. I am Walt Bishke, Graduate School Admissions, and my favorite drink, I'm going to go with a Guinness Stout. Let's go to Daphne.
My name is Daphne Tsapalis. I've been admitted to the sociology PhD program, and I really love seltzer.
Modesty.
My name is Modesty Thomas. I've been admitted into the English PhD program, and my favorite drink, I'm not proud to say, but it's probably Coca-Cola.
It's a classic. Chang.
Hi, my name is Chang Li, and I have been admitted to the Computer Science PhD program. My favorite drink is water because I drink it a lot.
Also a classic. Divyesh.
Hi, I've been admitted to the Master's CS program, and my favorite drink is cranberry juice. I like it a lot.
That's on my list as well. Divyesh, what program did you say that you were admitted to?
Master's in CS.
Oh, okay, Master's in CS. Got you. All right. Well, so I'm finding myself in the peculiar situation that all of the continuing student panelists who we have corralled for tonight's meeting, none of them are here yet. We still may have somebody show up. I do apologize for that, but I do want to offer that we can still have a fruitful discussion because we've done a number of these panels, not only this season, but also in seasons past. And typically what I do is I'll get the conversation started with some topical questions about the student experience, like what made you choose Vanderbilt and what do you enjoy about the city of Nashville. If you all would still like to stick around, I would be happy to kind of lead us through some of those and answer any questions that you have. And it could be on any topic. So we have sort of a unique opportunity here just to have more of a free form discussion. But I want to make sure that you get some questions answered about the student experience. You may have come here tonight with questions about the housing situation at Vanderbilt and what's the best way to find a roommate. You may have questions about the student support networks. You may have questions about your stipends and how all of that works. And anything else that might be on your mind about the city of Nashville, about developing a relationship with your faculty mentor, how to maintain a work-life balance. So there are many topics that we can still touch upon. And again, I apologize that we don't have any of our continuing students with us at the moment. But I'll just I guess I'll just kick it off by saying usually the first question we start with for our panelists is, what made you choose Vanderbilt? Thinking back to your time as an incoming first-year graduate student, what was it about Vanderbilt that made you choose Vanderbilt? And most often, the answers to that question are the personal relationships that have been established between the student and a faculty member. Usually, when you're applying to graduate school, you are not only trying to find a match for the field of study that you're interested in, but also a fit between you and a specific faculty member or faculty members in the program, because you're going to have a one-on-one relationship with your faculty advisor who is going to lead you through your graduate career, help shepherd you towards that degree. So my advice to incoming students or applicants, even we'll start even before that, is to, if you haven't already, research the faculty profiles on the department website, the department to which you've been admitted. They have their CVs, their research publication lists, and things that they work on in their specialty, their special areas. And they can, you want to find somebody that resonates with you, somebody who is doing the work that you want to do, and basically make a connection and establish a relationship with that person and see about the potential of them being your either your primary PhD or master's advisor, or somebody who will be on your committee if you're a PhD student, a PhD dissertation committee. So it's about relationships, and I would highly recommend that if you have not established a personal contact or identified some faculty member in the program to which you've been admitted whose specific area of specialization and work resonates with you, I would recommend that would be your one of your first points of business. Has anyone here developed a relationship or reached out to any of the faculty in the department that you've been admitted to yet? Have you been in contact with your potential new home program? I see Daphne giving the thumbs up. I see Modesty.
Yes, I think that I have a past experience with Vanderbilt. Hello, Samuel.
Hi, Samuel.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Currently admitted to the PhD to the epidemiology program, and as I mentioned, I have a past experience with Vanderbilt. So I've attended the Verdi program in 2022, and I had the opportunity to work with Dr. John Coulter and also Dr. Peter Ribeiro. And currently, I'm also a scholar at the FIMP program. So I'm a trainee at the FIMP program. So currently, Dr. Jessica is also who is a part of the Vanderbilt faculty. Is also my mentor in this program. So I have very good relationship with Vanderbilt. And also, I'm an investigator in Casanet. As you know, Casanet is part of the Vanderbilt activities and doing research and involving the Caribbean and South America regions, especially in HIV and tuberculosis. So I have developed a very, very strong relationship with many faculties at Vanderbilt.
Oh, that's fantastic. Samuel, I appreciate you sharing about that. Would you care to say more about how those relationships began? Did it begin? I don't know. You just joined us, but I don't know if you had followed the advice that I was giving the others a moment ago about reaching out to a faculty member in a program whose work matches your interests. Would you say more?
Yeah, after attending the Verdi program, which is a very interesting program focused on grant writing, and after that, I write down all 21 grants under the direction of Dr. John Coulter, which is who is a co-PI with me and this grant. So fortunately, this grant was funded, and we received a very, very interesting score. And the grant is currently funded by the Fogati. And then, so I think that the relationship started at this point after during the Verdi program. So I've met Dr. John Cotter, and he was designated as one of my mentor during this program, and then we started to work on that grant. And fortunately, the grant was successful, and currently we are working on the implementation of this grant, and we have already enrolled more than 10 participants in this study. And just as a reminder, I don't know if you, unfortunately, I didn't have the time to introduce myself. I'm a physician working in Haiti, especially working at VUGradSchool as a clinical research site coordinator. So I've been involved in many clinical trials, especially on HIV and tuberculosis. So yeah, this is how I get in touch with Dr. John Coulter, and then I think that since then we keep working together, and we are having a bi-weekly meeting, especially on the implementation of this R21 grant. So it's a very, very successful.
Well, that's exciting. It sounds like you are really coming into the program with a running start. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that background and some insight into how you establish your relationship with your advisor. I saw Daphne said that she had reached out or had contact with her program. Daphne, would you like to tell us about that connection?
Yeah, I have had Zoom calls with, I think, 3 or 4 sociology faculty. And I honestly think it's, sorry, been very helpful just to meet people. You just talk to them about, what you're interested in, how that overlaps with what they're interested in, specifically finding out what projects they're doing for the next few years, since they will probably be the projects that you're working on in sociology. And it's been super fruitful, and every conversation has been good. It's a good look for Vanderbilt.
That's great. So did they reach out to you, or these group calls or individual calls?
These are individual calls. Some people have reached out to me, and other people I've reached out to. But I feel like anybody that I've reached out to has responded very quickly and is super receptive.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. That's the ideal way to get your foot in the door, and well, not only to decide if this is the place for you, but I mean, it's all going to come down to the personal relationships, and if you feel like you belong in a place here and with the people here. So that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear about that. Modesty, you had also said that you had contact with your admitting program. Would you care to share about that?
Yes. So I received an email from the graduate student coordinator in the English department. It, and from there, she introduced me to well, via email, introduced me to the faculty that I would be most closely working with due to my interest in Shakespeare and early modern literature. And from there, I was able to schedule one-on-one Zoom meetings with everyone. And so I have one actually tomorrow. That's my last one of the 4 that were scheduled. And interestingly enough, there is no one in the department that actually is working on Shakespeare and race, but their interest and the community and the environment here allows for so many like crossovers and overlaps. And there's also like partnerships with additional like schools and libraries and things. So there's a possibility that I could still receive a lot of guidance with the projects that I want to do. And also, I was really impressed by the idea that like the department wants its grad students to speak about their interests so that they can tailor the courses to that. So like I've had a lot of really good experience through having the one-on-one talks with professors, and I get a very good vibe from those that I've met so far.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you have the opportunity to carve out a unique niche in your area of study, and that you see that what I heard you say is that even though nobody was doing the specific thing that you were interested in, there was enough foundational uh, resource in the faculty that you felt perhaps there's some potential there to work with. So that's great. That's fantastic. So I want to make sure that we have a unique opportunity. You can really ask questions. I can put out topics that we have discussed in other student panel sessions, but I mean, this is a small group. We're an informal time, and it's your opportunity to pick my brain. I've been at Vanderbilt over 25 years. I've been in the graduate school 17 of those 25 years, and seen a lot of students, and seen how things have changed in higher education and in the student body makeup. So please feel free if there's any questions that you would like to discuss about the student experience or anything that touches it. You know, the challenges of moving here, getting through the visa process, setting up a new bank account, learning how to navigate the city. There's a lot of richness here, and if you have been to any of the other incoming student information sessions this week, we've been making videos and posting them to the graduate school website. So if you've not had a chance to attend those sessions, we've got other sessions that talk about Nashville, the city in detail, all of the neighborhoods that make up the city, and the attractions and features of the city. We've had another session about the student care network. Student well-being is a very high priority. It's probably the top priority here at Vanderbilt. And so we have a great team of life coaches, Stacy and Nick, heading that group, and people that are ready to meet with you and coach you and walk alongside you one-on-one to talk about any of the pressures that you encounter as a graduate student. Everyone talks about imposter syndrome and the finding work-life balance and not getting burnt out. And then when you're closing in on your degree, how to start, I guess, looking for opportunities for employment after. So we hope that you'll avail yourselves of these other student information sessions. We also have a dedicated session with our international student and scholar services experts who have walked through the visa process and challenges and answered those questions. And any questions that you may still have after going to these sessions, you can reach out to us anytime. I'm going to put in the chat our email address. It's graduateschooladmissions@vanderbilt.edu. And that is your one-stop shop to ask us any questions that you have about the student experience or anything about Vanderbilt. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. I'll ask this question. Did anybody come here tonight with one specific question or topic in mind? Boy, I hope they talk about that. Or boy, I sure hope somebody talks about how they found their roommate, or how they handled the shift from undergraduate into graduate study. Does anyone have any specific questions that they came here tonight with? Chang, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I want to ask a specific question about the taxing information in Vanderbilt.
Sure.
Since I'm recruited as a PhD student, so there are stipend that coming into my account each month. And I'm an international student, so I know that I may need to submit some tax to the government, and I'm really don't know the details about it. For example, which website are we looking into, and what are the tax rates, and what is the deadline of the submission of the tax forms or other stuffs?
Sure. So we have an office here at Vanderbilt called the International Tax Office, or ITO. And I've put the email address for that office in the chat, ito@vanderbilt.edu. They are the tax experts, and they are the best people to ask that question. They can give you the most detailed answer. The International Student and Scholar Services Office, who will be helping international students through the visa and immigration process, which includes setting up a social security number for the financial systems here in the United States. They are another resource, but your primary resource to answer that question is the International Tax Office. And that email address is in the chat now. I'm also going to share the ISSS email. It's just ISSS@vanderbilt.edu. And they are the International Student and Scholar Services Office, who help international students get through the immigration process and get established at Vanderbilt and in the US, maybe for the first time.
Thank you so much, and I will contact these emails.
Okay. Anyone else? Did anyone else come tonight hoping to hear something specific, get some specific piece of information or insight? Samuel.
Yeah, I think one of the question that I wanted to maybe to discuss it's regarding housing, because I'm an international student, so I think it will be. I used to travel to the US, but currently I'm in the US. But in terms of housing, I'm not. It will be my first experience in terms of having a place to live in the US. So I was wondering what is the past experience of the current students, and if there's any place where I could find some details or more information regarding housing, I think that's something that I'm very interested in because uh,
Absolutely.
it will be my first experience.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm glad you raised that topic because I think a related topic is finding a roommate, which is something that we recommend for everyone because it's a great way to save on costs. Uh, but housing. So on the graduate school website, we have a guide for incoming students. And one of the pieces of that guide is about housing, and it includes links to apartment finders in Nashville. There's an apartment finder website where there's lists of landlords who rent to graduate students. There is also housing that is on campus that was recently built, and we started using that last season. They're called the Broadview Apartments, and they're right on the outskirts of campus, and so any uh, very convenient location. That's another option. So you have some sources of information there on the graduate school website. The housing, the link to the housing website and the apartment finder are two places that you can go to begin looking. I would say that also many of the individual departments, the academic departments, like your new home department that you've been admitted to, they have Facebook pages for incoming students, and they also have online forums where you can connect with other continuing students. And they have bulletin boards where if you're looking for a roommate, you can get matched up with somebody who is also looking for housing. That is, you don't have to have a roommate, but we highly recommend it. It's a good way to save money. But yeah, you can do your own shopping. You'll see the rents in Nashville. Some of them can get pretty expensive the closer into the downtown area, of course. It's a bit of a trade-off because you can get like a lower rent the further out you go from campus, but then you've got a commute. I don't know how many of you have your own cars, but there are transportation options for Vanderbilt students. Any Vanderbilt student with an ID card can swipe their ID card on the Nashville buses and ride for free. Vanderbilt pays for that. There's also, of course, the traditional like rideshare options, Uber and Lyft and all that. And Nashville has bicycle lanes on many of the city streets. I hesitate to recommend that as a primary option just because it's just not the safest. With bicycles and cars sharing the roadways, but that is another possibility. You'll see a lot of people with rentable scooters going around campus and nearby neighborhoods. So those are transportation options. So information sources to find housing. You can start at the graduate school website, information for incoming students. Look at the links there under the housing header that will have an apartment finder link. And as I said, the Broadview apartments are one graduate student housing option that the university has partnered with the Broadview apartments. And then checking with your individual department that you've been admitted to see if they have any bulletin boards or other students, incoming or even continuing students who are looking for roommates. So those are a few beginning bits of advice.
I have a
Daphne,
question.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually have to jump off, but before that, I did have one question I wanted to ask. Is there a student union for grad students? And then can you see projected pay scales for multiple years?
Uh, I'm not real familiar with the union. There is a unionization effort on campus. It's kind of a controversial subject, but there is a union. I don't have information or advice to you about how to connect with them, unfortunately. But uh,
That's
we
totally
can,
fine. Yeah, I feel like for some schools it's just a yes or no, but it's controversial. So just please delete this from the recording so no one knows it was me. Perfect. Okay, well, I actually have to go, but thank you so much for holding this and hopefully see you all in the fall.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, Daphne.
Yeah, and thank you, Walt, for your advices and for the information that you provided regarding housing. Thank you very much.
Sure, sure. Well, are any of you, I don't know how many of you have ever visited Nashville, but does anyone have any questions about what the city is like and what some of the favorite things to do and eat uh, and see while you're here? Uh, there are there are at least a dozen different distinct neighborhoods in Nashville, Midtown, the Gulch, Germantown. There are so many different places that have different, represent different cultures, different restaurants, foods. There's different musics all over all over Nashville. It's called Music City. And that was primarily for country music, but it's not just country music. And there are many major rock and alternative rock acts that have come here to record and tour. It's a very vibrant city. It's been called the Athens of the South. One of the features of the city is a full-scale replica of the Grecian Parthenon, which sits in the middle of Centennial Park, right on the outskirts of campus. And that structure came from I think around the turn of the 20th century. There was a World's Fair in Nashville, and that was when the Parthenon was built there. And that's what garnered the Athens of the South tag for Nashville. But the city has grown exponentially, even in the last decade. It's one of the top 10 cities in the United States for new apartment buildings, and the face of the city has grown and changed so much with Nissan, Amazon, a lot of big businesses have brought a lot of money and growth into the city. Um, as I said, if you haven't tried some of the delicacies of Southern hot chicken, uh, that's something that everyone talks about. Uh, but do any of you have questions about the city itself or the surrounding environment that Vanderbilt is in? Is the city a big factor in your decision, or is it more the well, let's shift to this topic. What would you say are the major factors that you're weighing in your decision between offers you're getting from other schools? Is academic fit the top priority, or are you almost equally weighting the environment and the city that you'll be in, and maybe I don't know, the stipend and support package? What are the primary factors that you're weighing as you're considering the different offers?
I will go first. I think that the academic fit is the top one, because I had experience with Vanderbilt faculties, so I think that play a major role in my decision to come Vanderbilt, because I think one thing that catch my attention during my experience at the Verdi program is I think that is the kindness of the faculties, and then the willingness to help in every kind of situation. I think that it's a place that really it's like you're part of the team, and then you don't feel like you are alone, and then you find the kind of support that you need, that you really need to grow. I think that my the experience that I had with Vanderbilt faculty was very successful, and then the grant that I have written, and then fortunately the grant is funded, and then so I think that even if I had a past experience at another US university, but the when I compare the experience that I had with Vanderbilt faculties, I think that is the I think that the academic fit is the top of the list that make me feel that the Vanderbilt is the place to go for my PhD.
Well said. Anyone else want to talk about the main factors that you're weighing as you decide which offer to go with?
I can go next. For me, academic fit is also very important, but so is for me, I would say like the overall campus culture and environment, and also the political climate. Like it's very important to me that the program and that the students I'm surrounded by, for me at least, are probably more progressive, like with politics and inclusive of all people. And yeah, and so like that's a very major thing for me. And I've had the opportunity to ask the professors that I've had the opportunity to speak with so far, about their opinions of the department and the city. And I've heard some really good things, and I've seen some very good things. Also, like for me, speaking personally about the English department. And so that's kind of like how I've been weighing things.
That's good. That's good. Anyone else want to talk about what factors you're weighing?
Yeah, I would like to continue. I chose Vanderbilt because the personal connection with my academic supervisor, and I did not give more consideration to Nashville and living in or around the campus. So I'm a little bit curious about the climate in Vanderbilt and what is it like. It is kind of humid or it is warm in all seasons.
Sure. So the Vanderbilt is in the Mid-South, so it is a typically warmer climate. But what that means is you'll probably see that on the extreme ends, we'll have summers that can get into the 90s and pretty humid. But in the winters, they're usually very mild. We do have freezing temperatures, but the winters, I came from up north in Chicago, so I'm used to like snow that would like fall in inches and feet. We get snow here in Nashville occasionally, and some significant snow, but it doesn't stick around for more than a few days. So the winters are mild. The summers can get very, very warm and very humid. but I would say overall, my favorite time of the year here is in the fall, in the autumn, when things are starting to cool down and the colors are changing. The campus is very beautiful. The campus is actually a registered arboretum, a tree conservatory. There are many different types of trees, magnolias, birch, oak. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to walk around. And that's what I can say about the climate. As far as the climate with the student body, I think one of the things that you'll hear most often is it's a very friendly and collaborative environment. Vanderbilt puts a big emphasis on interdisciplinary collaboration. So there's a big value in getting students together from different disciplines and having multidisciplinary collaborations on projects, whether it be for academic purposes or community service. Vanderbilt values diversity of thought. So, and the whole idea is no one academic discipline has all of the answers to problems facing the community and the world. And so we're best when we can all come together and bring each of our perspectives and skill sets and approaches to things. So that's one way that I would begin to describe the student community here. The faculty and fellow students are very nurturing, very collaborative environment. Nashville and the South in general are more, I guess, family oriented. It's just people are usually a little more polite in the southern part of the U.S. than maybe up north. I don't want to speak in huge generalizations, but it's a friendly town. It's the weather here is moderate and gets pretty warm in the summer, and the academic environment is very collaborative and collegial. And there are a lot of student organizations here as well. So, I mean, that's one of the things that you will get more information on in like orientation and onboarding, should you decide to make Vanderbilt your choice for graduate school. And some of you may have made that decision. Some of you are still be considering other offers. You, of course, have until April 15th to make your final decision. But there are many different student organizations, some that are run by students on just about any subject matter area or interest that you could find a community for, from a chess club to cooking groups to there's I wish this is where I wish we had some of our continuing students with us tonight who would talk about some of the other student groups that they belong to and know about. But there's a lot of rich experience waiting here for you. So one of the other questions that comes up in the student panels, we usually ask our graduate students to describe a day in the life of a graduate student, because some incoming students are coming for the first time into a graduate environment, which is very different in its rigor and demands and structure than undergraduate study. And part of the difference, as we've already touched on, you'll have a one-on-one relationship with your faculty advisor, your degree advisor, mentor. But you don't have to get locked into the idea of having just one advisor or one mentor. You'll have a specific advisor that will be your degree advisor, but some of our students have found that a combination of relationships have met their mentoring needs. So you shouldn't expect to have all of your needs met by one person. So I would encourage you to think more broadly. Certainly have that one advisor that will be your primary advisor going through your graduate career, but there are many different mentorship opportunities that you can pursue in the programs. And again, I want to open the floor for questions that you all have, because we usually have a panel of anywhere from 3 to 5 continuing graduate students here that talk about their experiences, and none of them were able to join us tonight, and I am filling in as best I can, and based on what I've heard from countless discussions that we've had at other of these panels. But the student experience, of course, is going to change from your first year and later into your academic career, because your first few years you're going to be mainly in classes and getting those didactic credit hours taken care of, and then your time is going to shift more into the research area. You'll be doing research in many cases from the get-go, but what I'm saying is your time will shift from when you have finished all of your didactic coursework for your PhD degree, and you are doing the research that is going to inform your dissertation or perhaps your thesis, your master's thesis. The students find that they have great flexibility with their schedules, and many of them work remotely unless they're needing to be in their labs, which most of the later year students are spending much of their time in the labs, meeting with their advisors regularly just to make sure that everything is on track with their studies and with their research. So I just want to with everyone here, I just want to make sure that we're answering questions that you have. I can talk about what I know and what I've learned from our other students, but I want this to be fruitful for you. So if anyone has any questions, remaining topics that we haven't talked about yet, please go ahead and say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Walt.
Hi.
I had a question. It's a specific question. I'm also considering and evaluating my options also. It will be great if you have any opinions on this. As you know that I have been, sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you had asked a question. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Okay, yeah. So the question goes like this. So I have been admitted to the Master's CS program, research based. So basically involving a thesis. So I am curious in knowing, what's the conversion rate if a master's student wants to get converted into a PhD program, and how many, just I mean, so what's the research horizon for those students, specifically who are pursuing a research-based master's, and they want to just upgrade it to a PhD, let's say after a year into the program.
Sure. So the School of Engineering at Vanderbilt definitely recruits their master's students. So that is definitely a pathway for you. The best people to answer your question about the conversion rate what I take it as the proportion of master's students in the master's program who go on to their PhD at Vanderbilt. I don't have an exact figure to give you. I would say ballpark. I don't know, maybe 20 to 30%. But the best people to ask would be the faculty in the program. They could give you a more specific number and feel for how many of their master students continue on at Vanderbilt to the PhD. There's a school of thought that if you do your master's at one school, you will want to do your PhD at a different institution, just to show that you have some diversity in your background and in your approach. But the School of Engineering definitely recruits and encourages their master's students to continue on to the PhD here at Vanderbilt.
Okay, thank you for that. And so, as you mentioned, to consult the faculty member. For the CS program, do you have any idea who will be the best point of contact?
The best person to contact would probably be the Director of Graduate Studies, and I can put that in the chat. Actually, if you go to the graduate school website, gradschool.vanderbilt.edu, and you go under academics and then department contacts, there's a list that of each department. There's a link to the website, and there's a link to the Director of Graduate Studies and the departmental administrator. I would start with the Director of Graduate Studies.
Okay. 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 Thanks for the answer.
Sure. Samuel, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. The question that I have is related to the visa process. Unfortunately, I'm currently in a very unique situation. I don't know if you have heard about the current situation in Haiti, but the U.S. embassy there is closed, and currently I'm stuck in the U.S. because I came early this month to attend the Qual conference at Denver, and then unfortunately the international airport in Haiti is closed, so I'm still here in the U.S. and expecting to go back to Haiti when the airport is open. Is open. So, but I don't know when exactly that will happen. So I was wondering if, since I already have a B1, B2 visa, and then if there's a way that the process could, I don't know if the U.S. embassy in Haiti is still closed, and then if I could come here in the U.S. and to continue the process for the visa.
Sure. I think one advantage that you have is that you're already in the U.S., so that will be helpful. I would say beyond that, reach out directly to our International Student and Scholar Services colleagues. I put the email address in the chat earlier. ISSS, right? They're your experts and would be able to give you the best answer. But I would say that it is helpful that you're already in the US. That's definitely going to work to your advantage. But our ISSS colleagues are the experts that would be best for you to get their thoughts.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very
Have you
much.
spoken with them? Have you spoken with them at all yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, good. Yeah. I'm confident that they'll be able to give you a clear path.
Thank you. I will.
Sure. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, and if anyone has any final thoughts or questions or topics that we haven't addressed yet, now's your chance to ask away. I've put in the chat graduate school admissions at vanderbilt.edu. That is a one-stop shop email address where you can ask any questions that you have about the Vanderbilt experience and graduate school, or your admission offer, or any visa questions. Of course, as I did for Samuel, if you have a specific visa or international tax question, we will refer you to our in-house experts in those places. But we want to, we're trying to establish relationship with you and just give you the information and insights that you need to make your best decision for where you want to go to graduate school. But I'll just finish by thanking you all again for joining us, for joining me tonight, and for participating in the discussion. Congratulations on your admission to Vanderbilt from a very competitive pool of applicants. You have shown yourselves to be accomplished scholars just by the fact that you've been admitted to Vanderbilt. So I applaud you. And we hope that you have gotten some information from this session, but also from the sessions that we're offering this week. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. So thank you again for joining us, and everyone have a good evening.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.